like an international wine, but too much is too much. I'll do the reduction gear housings in a different video, or just not do them in a video at all. But yeah, that's how I do them. I know some guy was, you know, and that's the thing. In that last video, I was in a hurry. I misspoke on a couple of things, but trust me when I tell you, I know what I'm doing. These tractors aren't that complicated, and I've been around them a while now. I could do most of the stuff that they need in my sleep. That's part of the reason I like them. They're so simple to work on. It's so simple to maintain. Not necessarily cheap to maintain. I mean, I bought 10 quarts of gear lube, an oil filter, and 12 quarts of low ash 30 weight, 153 bucks. So I can see why guys take shortcuts on these, you know, and a lot of people are like, well, you know, I just didn't get to it. Well, you didn't want to spend the money. That's what it really boils down to. You know, when it's 153 bucks to throw some new lube in it, to me it's worth it. But I have the money to do it. And you know, I'm not a rich guy, but I won't own a tractor that I can't maintain, and that's just the bottom line. There was another video that I did about that. How many tractors can you own and still have the time and the money and whatnot to actually maintain them properly? And you know, for me, it's not really that I couldn't get more tractors. I got 5 right now. For me, it's I got to put another building up because I just refuse to have a tractor. It sits outside. It just destroys it. You're constantly fighting the moisture and the, you know, the water in your tank. Whether, you know, you diesel, you get algae, you get water in your gas, it doesn't run right. You get water in your rear ends. I mean, it's a losing battle. And that thing's a whole nother story. I mean, Hitran, I don't even know. I think the rear end in that takes like 13 gallons or something. It's absurd. And I mean, you get a 5-gallon bucket for about $100. So, you know, there's $200 to $300 just in the fluid alone. So, yeah, you want to really think about how many tractors you need in terms of maintenance. So, yeah, let's get on this thing. We got fill plug. And the reason I was saying, I think it's 4.5 quarts, and the parts guy said it was 5.5. It's not going to matter because it's not going to allow you to overfill it. End of story. Now, somebody was talking about these final drives right here, right there, and right there. And they said you got to drop the pans right out of there to really get them clean. And there's probably some truth to that. But I tell you honestly, I use a suction gun. And if I just can't get it with a suction gun, then yeah, I'll drop them out of there to get them clean once and for all. But, you know, there's different ways to skin a cat here. But right now we're up top. And I'm telling you, I think it's 4.5. I think we're going to put 4 there, a 1/2 quart here. And I think we'll have stuff running out of the level, which is right here. And we're going to undo that. First things first, like I said, I'm going to fire this thing up, get it warmed up. And yeah, birds are hard at work. Beep, beep. Yeah, we running. It's sounding good too, man. I spilled a bunch of oil there. Oh well, rust prevention program. Let's get it and hit it. And got my breaker bar here. This is all I use to take out those fill plugs. And I don't know, that's probably 2 foot long, so doesn't matter how hard these turn, it's coming off of there one way or another. We going. Oh, that turned really easy, which is kind of odd to me. I want to lift these off and see if I can see anything splashing around down in there. Maybe I probably can't hear, but nevertheless, I want to in the front. Put this over here for now. Bust this other one off of here. This actually has the original crank with it, the crank start disc, so yeah, I could probably hand loosen that now. I do expect water to come out of this. I mean, toward the end of draining the motor oil, it was pretty milky brown, which just indicates that it was probably did a little outdoor time. Take a look in there. It actually looks a little on the dry side. So, should be warm enough. I'm going to shut her down. Get the existing bucket under the main drain plug. Go from there. Yeah, right there. We can pop that sucker right out, but I don't know. I saw one guy, he has a Super A and he drained it, and my word, he got like 5 gallons out of it. Now a lot of that was water, so you know, that's the excuse for a lot of the liquid that came out of it, but you know, there shouldn't be a whole ton of oil in the back end of this. There really shouldn't be. I mean, you know, it's 5 quarts. It's one of them deals where I expect to see some water before the oil, and hopefully there's oil in it. It's turning kind of hard, but that's all right. A couple more turns, I'll be able to hand loosen it. See if we get some water drips first. No. No, I don't think that's definitely oil. Okay, yeah, we're milky. We milky. I'm gonna guess that he had 80-90 in there, and it was low. Because that's not even 4.5 quarts that come out of there. Even what's continuing to come out, I'm gonna tell you, it's probably 2 to 2.5. So I'm going to let that continue to drain on its own. It is warm, like I said, I had it running, but I'll use diesel fuel. I'll put that plug back in there and put a couple gallons of diesel fuel, and I'll drive this around. I'll spare you that, but I will tell you that's what I'm doing, and it flushes it nice. Diesel does a nice job of getting this all cleaned up and whatnot. I will change this again in a couple of months, just for my mental health sake. And should be good to go. And then we'll dig into the final drives and that radiator. That's going to be a treat. For radiator, for flushing that, I'll use like white vinegar and get it hot and get it, you know, stirring and churning, because if a lot of this stuff's been neglected, you can bet for sure your radiator's been neglected. All right, so I'm gonna put this drain plug back in so I can fill it with diesel and take her for a shake, and hopefully shake loose a lot of that crap. All right, so what am I working with? Got some Valvoline 85 weight 140. Wanted to go a little thicker, older machine, hotter temperatures. Probably won't flow as good in the winter, but then again, I won't be using this in the winter. I'll be using this in the summer, spring, summer, fall. So about half of this should be good for the PTO. So I'm gonna get that funnel set up and get this dumped in there. So what I did, I went and bought a separate quart for the back end, and then I've got 10 quarts here just to have on hand, and then so I'm transferring that to the 1 quart and then to the tractor. So seems to be working pretty good. Man, that stuff is thick. 140 weight. I expect it to quiet it down quite a bit. Yeah, it only takes about a minute to fill up this 1 quart jug, so to me it's definitely worth doing. It just makes measuring easier, and I also want to see if this is actually 4.5, because I have the level plug off. So we're going to find out whether, because in his book he says 5.5. Well, in my book it says 4.5. And that's 4 in the front where I'm dumping now, and a half a quart in the back where the PTO is. Just so the PTO doesn't have to be on standby and wait for gear oil to get back to it. So I've already dumped that half a quart back there. And this is quart 2 up here, so 2 more, and I expect it to be flowing out the level. Like I say, what come out of there, you saw what come out of this. To me, that looked between 2 and 3 quarts is what that looked like. That definitely wasn't full. And this is the 3rd quart. I say another quart, quart and a half, and we're coming out of the level. Yeah, quart number 4. Still ain't coming out the level yet. Well, that's 4, and we ain't level yet, so let's keep on rolling. I'm gonna put a half a quart in, see what happens. That'd be 5 quarts. All right, we'll go another half a quart. I'll bet we're level at 5 quarts. Yep, right there we're level. It's coming out. So he was wrong and I was wrong. Both books were wrong. Mine said 4.5 quarts. His said 5.5. And I'm going to tell you, this took 5 quarts. So there you go. I don't mind being wrong, as long as the tractor's right. We're going to put these fill plugs back in and take it for a shake and see if it sounds any different. Let's fire it up. All right. 6 volt. Don't turn too bad for 6 volt. Let some of that new stuff get flowing in there. Turning and churning. Yeah, actually when I flushed the diesel, it didn't come out too bad at all. I was pleased. I've seen so many nightmares, not just on Farmall tractors, but in general, where guys do those rear ends and it's bad. Oh, I guess I could move that or just run it over. Anyone want a Husky? All right, we mount up. Should you go in first or reverse? Oh yeah. She's quiet, man. Thing tightening up or what? All right. Anyways. Need a new suicide knob on this. That's for sure. And all kinds of ride mowers around. That thing's a little beast. I should have did a video on that, but I went through knee-deep grass with it, and it mowed it like a brush hog. So yeah, and that trailer's already registered and titled, so I'm happy about that. All right, just do-si-do, go around and round we go. Where it stops, don't no one know. Can you please stop rhyming? All right. Alright. You still got the international whine, but I'll tell you what, that smoothened it right out. It's just a different feel with that 140 in there. Oh, excuse me, 85, 140. There's some beans that need sprayed. I can't get in the field when it's like that. Yeah, you come out of the field, spray, you look on your tractor tire and it's full of soybean plants. All you do is go out there and tear them right out of the ground. So, nah. But we can loop around And I think some of you guys got me talked into planting buckwheat. I've never planted it before, but yeah, there is a high possibility I'm going to throw some in the ground, about 50, 60 pounds an acre, and see what happens. So, yeah, I like that little whine, but it's a different whine now than it was. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, see, we got water up here too. Now let's talk about the rear end fluid in this Farmall A. Okay, I've taken it upon myself to go ahead and run 85-140. The book will tell you 80-90 weight. That ain't a bad oil to run in the winter time or whatever. I like a thicker oil in an older tractor. So you're running, I like to run, like I say, the 85 weight, 140 in it. If it's in the winter time and it's just sluggish and extreme cold temperatures, the book says I have the option of slightly diluting it with kerosene. Let's talk about back end here, okay? You can see there's a fill plug there. There's a fill plug there, all right? Some guys think you have to drop the pans out. That's the sure way to do it. I use a suction gun. I also put the 140 in the rear end of this. I don't plan on using this tractor in the winter. If it is 6 below out, I'm not going out unless I have to. And I'm probably not going to run this tractor anyways. So that's really the reason why I like the heavier oil. It's an older tractor. It quiets it down, shifts into gear a little bit better.